Right, let me ask you something. You got a brilliant idea of your app, yeah? You walk up to your developer, you probably found them on Reddit or some tech meetup in Shoreditch, and you ask them, so can we build this feature? They look up from their lukewarm Greg sausage roll and say, sure, yeah, we can build that. Mate, that's where you've already lost. Because can we build this? Is hands down the most expensive question you can ask any developer. And today I'm going to explain why every feature you add to your app is less like buying a new sofa and more like adopting a pet that lives with you forever and gets more increasingly expensive to feed. Welcome to the concept of the feature tax. Here's the thing about developers. They're optimists, and when it comes to what's technically possible, ask them if they can build anything, the answer is basically always yes. Can we add a feature where users can customize their avatar for 47 different hats? Yeah, technically we can do that. Can we integrate with every single social media platform, including MySpace? I mean, yeah, give me enough time and enough Monster Energy drink, we can do it. See, developers think in situations. You present a problem, and their brain immediately starts solving it. It's like a chef. If they can cook something, of course they can. If they've got knives, heat, ingredients. The question isn't whether they can, it's whether they should. But here's what you're not asking. What happens after we build it? Because building a feature isn't like buying some trainers from JD Sports. You don't just purchase it once and walk away. Every single feature that you add to your product comes with an invisible price tag that keeps charging you forever. According to the study by Consortium for Information and Software Quality, poor software quality cost companies in the US approximately £1.7 trillion in 22. And that's just maintaining it. And you've got to make money on top of that, remember. This is just to keep the ship from sinking. You've still got to make profit. This permanent cost, that's the feature tax. Let me tell you something that's going to sound a bit mental. Code, it isn't an asset. It's actually more likely a liability. I know, the thinking, but we need code to build the product. And yeah, you need flour to bake bread, and you don't just chuck flour everywhere and hope for the best, do you? Every single line of code that you write has to be read by other developers, or by the same developer who forgot what he wrote 3 months after drinking way too many pints. Tested to make sure it doesn't break. Updated when you change other parts of the system. Fixed when bugs inevitably appear. Secured against hackers who have nothing better to do on a Tuesday afternoon. Documented so someone understands it. Maintained for as long as that feature exists. According to research, developers spend approximately 42% of their time dealing with technical debt and bad code, and that's nearly half their time not building new things, but fixing old things. Let's put this in proper London terms, shall we? Say you pay a developer 50k a year, if 42% of the time is spent on maintenance, 21k a year just keeping the lights on for features you've already built, and that's every year. Here's another fun fact. The US National Institute of Standards and Technology estimated that software bugs cost the economy £43 billion a year. And that's about 80% of the cost is spent in identifying and correcting defects. You know what causes bugs? Features, more bugs. Basic maths, innit? And here's the proper kicker. The longer a feature exists, the more expensive it becomes to maintain. Legacy code, that's code that's been around for years, becomes harder to understand, harder to change, and more likely to break everything when you touch it. Think about the London Underground. Been around since like 1860 something, hasn't it? Every time you want to add something new, you got to work around the tunnels, cable systems that are older than you now. Same thing with code. The longer it's been there, the more difficult it is to deal with the new stuff. Let me give you an analogy that makes sense. Imagine you own a restaurant. I'm talking a proper sit-down place, not a kebab shop. Though respect to the kebab shops for doing their thing. Someone says, we should add new items to the menu. What about butter chicken? You think, that's just printing a new menu. Bit of graphic design, few quid at the printers, we're done. Wrong. To add butter chicken to the menu, you need to, one, buy the ingredients, not just once, but ever. Every week, someone's ordering chicken, spices, cream, the works. If butter chicken isn't popular, you're binning expired ingredients and wasted money. Two, you've got to train your chefs. Every cook needs to know how to make it consistently. Same taste every time. When someone quits and you hire a new chef, you've got to train them too. Three, buy new equipment. Maybe you need a specific pan. Maybe you need more fridge space. Maybe you need a specialized grinder for the spices. Equipment costs money and takes up space. 4, update your health and safety. You're adding nuts, dairy, anything else. You need proper allergen warnings. You need to train staff to answer questions like, is there coconut in this? One mistake and you're in proper trouble. 5, you've got to clean the equipment. Every night, someone's washing the butter chicken pan. That's time and labour forever. 6, you've got to deal with complaints. This butter chicken is too spicy. It isn't like my mum's butter chicken. There's a hair in my chicken. And now you've got to manage customer service issues specific to this dish. See, what I'm saying is adding butter chicken to the menu isn't just printing the meat. It's a permanent operational cost that lives in your restaurant forever, taking up space, time, money and energy. Now, replace butter chicken with Facebook mode, dark mode, a custom emoji reaction. Every feature is butter chicken. This is the feature tax, the permanent operational cost of every single thing you build. So, what should you ask instead of, can we build this? Well, here's one of the proper questions. What is the 12-month maintenance cost of this feature? Make your developer actually think through. How many hours per month will we spend maintaining this? What will break when we change other parts of the system? How many customer supporting it will this create? What security vulnerabilities does this introduce? How will this feature interact with every feature that we build? According to research from McKinsey, for every pound spent on initial development, companies typically spend £3 to £5 on maintenance over the software's lifecycle. So if you spend 10 grand building a feature, you might spend 30 to 50 grand just keeping it alive. Let me give you a proper framework. Before adding any feature, ask, what's the minimum version of this? Maybe you don't need 47 hat options. Maybe 5 hat options will do. Let's start small. You can always add more butter chicken varieties later. 2, can we do this with existing features? Before you build something new, check if you can repurpose something you've already got. It's like asking, how do we make butter chicken with the ingredients already in your kitchen? What happens if we don't build this seriously? What if you just didn't? Will customers actually leave? Or is this just something that sounds cool with a planning meeting after we've all had too many coffees? Number 4, what is the shelf life of this feature? Some features are timeless. Login. Yeah, you need that. But integration of the hot new social media platform that might not exist in 6 months, maybe we can hold off. Here's my favorite trick, the feature sunset clause. When you add a feature, set a review date 6 months out. If nobody's using it, it's causing more problems than it's solving, we delete it. Properly delete it. Remove the code, shut down servers, archive the docs. Because here's the only thing about a feature tax. It only goes away when you delete the feature. And most companies are too scared to delete things. They just keep piling on features like they're hoarding broken electronics in the attic. Don't be that company. A study by the Standish Group found that 45% of software features are never used, and another 19% are rarely used. That means nearly 2/3 are just dead weight collecting the feature tax. Look, I'm not saying don't build features. I'm saying treat every feature like you're adopting a pet. You wouldn't get 47 dogs just because you can, would you? Each dog needs food, vet visits, walks, attention. Features are the same. They need care, feeding, and occasional trips to the vet when they're not feeling too well. So next time you're in a meeting and someone says, wouldn't it be cool if we added, stop and think. Are we ready to pay the feature tax on this? Forever. Because the most expensive features aren't the ones that cost the most to build. They're the ones that cost the most to keep alive. Right, that's it. If you found this helpful, smash that like button. Or don't, I'm not your dad. Subscribe if you want more startup reality checks. And if you're currently maintaining a feature that nobody uses and it's draining your soul, drop a comment. Let's commiserate together.